Welcome everyone to today. I want to continue building, so I'm gonna try to finish up the deployment of the agent that I built the other day. So we had an agent that reviews code on GitHub and has access to GitHub APIs and can kind of analyze the diffs, combines the diffs together, all the insertions, deletions, all of that for each pull request, and then has a GitHub access token, and from token can access all the change files and place the comments. So I had a couple of like test PRs where it tried to review. I believe this one over here, and maybe this one and this one. So let's take a look. Maybe even this one. No. Let's take a look over here. Let's see. Reviewer. I since then renamed this application from being just reviewer to revisor. I think it's just like some kind of French name. So let me just double check. I'm not actually sure which PR it actually reviews. So review PR. Let's see. I think this was it. Index tool scripts. I had a script. So yeah, so it reviewed pull request number 723. It goes under my name because it's a personal GitHub token that I have. It looks something like this. Too wordy, in my opinion, has a lot of points to make. I improved it to be more concise, and then I had a little bit more inline commenting over here. I didn't figure out how to make it to be like on a separate tab on the files change tab, so it's like you could see the comments online. For some reason I just posted the comments over here. Most of the suggestions, they're kind of okay, but they're not, they're good, but they're not great. It's just like, yeah, just you forgot to add the documentation, which is, yeah, sure, like there's no documentation. I think maybe this one is a little bit better. Just like adding try and catch and stuff like that. Then over here is just like future proofing the code. Maybe like it's also like doesn't even know like, do I need to actually have anything like this right now? Do I need to optimize to have more code organization visibility? I think it's just maybe too early. So yeah, I think like this, there is a little bit of prompt engineering that needs to go into it to make it better. For now, I think the kind of the other changes that I've done over here, I did figure out how to put this into the build process. So there is a build process now, like a workflow that runs once I have a PR. I tried to build it with one that didn't work because of, I believe, some monorepo issues. So the way the whole project is structured, I have all these different apps under apps folder, and then I have like one package over here which we're actually going to develop on today. and for some reason, like I tried to build it with bun, it got confused. It didn't. It like we're building locally, but when it was going to CI/CD, the muster internal code source code, from what I looked, they have the package detector. It tries to run the outside process with bun, but tries to build internal bundle with pnpm, which was weird. Therefore, I just switched it to be on pnpm instead of CI/CD on GitHub, which is fine. I think it's fine, but when I run it locally, I run it with bun. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this application in here. So that's where we had it. So I think it's still working, still up. So once this application is built in pull request stage, right? That's just like a CI/CD check just to see if it's building. I need to deploy an image of this application on the main branch CI/CD, and I need to double check if I'm doing this right now. I believe I added something, but let's see. So looks like no. So I'm just gonna have a reusable Docker build over here, which I'm just using that for building any Docker files that I have and then pushing to my registry. So I'll just copy paste this and rename it specifically for this application. I think it already knows what I'm trying to achieve. So here, and then here. So there was one quirk with this setup is that for specifically working with pnpm, I had a context of entire monorepo, because the way the pnpm is structured, from my understanding, all the node modules that are installed in a project, they're symlinked. So all the node modules that I have in each individual project, when I use a monorepo setup or I have a workspace setup with pnpm, they're all symlinked. Or even like if you have individual application with pnpm, all node modules, they're symlinked, and they're symlinked to like a global location of the node modules, and that's how they're reinstalling so fast, right? So like everything is symlink and it's like centralized somewhere on a system, so it just creates the symlink. That's how I can get my dependency quickly. But for Docker build, this is not friendly, because like if I isolate my context in a Docker build specifically to be a particular folder, then it's looking the node modules outside of this folder somewhere in a root folder and tries to grab them, but all it has is symlink, so it just basically doesn't work. It fails after that. So I believe I have to give it like a full context of this repo. That's one thing. Second thing is like for to trigger this workflow, right? It's right now like only after I merge, if this is passing and it's looking good, like the pull request review type of thing. If that looks good, then when it merges, I'm building the image, right? That's the process. So here, so basically, if I go and like, oh shit, the light theme is killing me. So basically, I have a pull request, right? And what I'm trying to achieve when I create the pull request, right, I have one workflow completed. So my CI/CD build, everything looks good. So when this gets merged, so this gets merged, so merge happened in here, building build Docker image for a Kubernetes cluster. And then the when it's built, the image gets pushed. Let's make it large. So when this gets built, then I want to push this to my registry. Then I have a registry. Then I can use my freaking image tag in my cluster, right? So, and this is my cluster right here. Yeah, don't ask me. It's the way I wanted to set it up this way. So, so I have a PR that looks good, right? It builds by just like installing the modules and builds bundles. So this gives me a bundle where make sure that the bundle is good. Then on a merge, I build a Docker image, and then after that, it goes to the registry. And then later, the cluster would pick up this application, right? For which I didn't write the manifest yet, so this is the next step. I think I just want to tackle in this video. I just want to tackle this one part over here, which is, can I build a Docker image and push it to my registry, right? So for registry, I'm using an open source project. It's called Git. I've deployed it on my domain. It runs within my cluster. So I have a service user. Under the service user, it stores all the different packages. So I can publish different type of packages, not just the containers. I believe I can pretty much push a Maven packages as well, and node modules, whatever. So I'll be creating one more image tag over here for this application, so that I could pull it in a cluster. Then the next step is inside of my cluster, right? So once the cluster once the image is ready, I'll write some Kubernetes manifest, and then I'll create a namespace for it, and then there's going to be an application that I will create. For example, the previous application that I have running here is this one, right? So I'll create something like this, similar. I'll create a couple of manifests over here. I believe I only need one secret to pull information from registry. I'll probably give it a service role. I'm not actually, do I need a service role? Maybe no. Just, yeah, I'll just do the kind of the registry secret and then deployment and service. And that's about it. I don't need anything else. And that's probably going to be in a separate video. So we just want to tackle the image building and pushing. So for this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna comment this part out, and then I'll trigger this on pull request, and then I'll trigger this specifically for this app that I have, and then there is a check if it actually been changed, and then if it was changed, then I will trigger this workflow. So that's about it. So that's the trigger. If I just push this, this will not trigger by itself. So let me just create a pull request for this. I'll update this app for now. And then maybe I would need create a Dockerfile over here. The Dockerfile, most likely I'm just gonna need to have a node alpine Docker image. So Go, I'm not sure if it's listening to me, but I want to node alpine, and then maybe I'll try to use an example from here. This is based on Bun. Maybe this one is a little bit better. So this application is a Next.js application, so I don't need to do all of this over here. So probably Node LTS Alpine will work fine for me. I think I was using, let's see, core pack to have pnpm. Let's just get this installation going. Then yeah, so this is the weird thing with the monorepo setup in a Docker image. So I am basically copying the outside log file and the workspace and all of these things, and then the actual application, right? And then I installed the application. So I remember I had to make it this way to make it work. Otherwise, it just doesn't work, as we talked about, because of the symlinks. Now, let's see. So first step, we getting the dependencies. Second is we're building and we're getting the node modules that we just installed. And then that looks like we're just copying our modules. That's fine. And then we're trying to build. We can probably modify the root JSON over here to build as well. So we'll build it based on that. Let's double check the workspace. I think workspace doesn't need any modification. And then the last thing, it's just a production image where this thing is going to be running. It would need node modules. It would need let's see, the node modules of a sub-project for sure, and then the build artifact. So if I build this over here, the build goes, let's double check where the build goes. Okay, so the build goes into the master folder. So there's a master.output, and I'm not even sure. Oh, it has its own modules. So this potentially is enough to have the application running. So I don't need outside node modules, right? So does this actually have the true node modules, not the Symlink? How do I find out? So if I go to, let's actually first build, maybe, let me just get rid of this folder. And then try to build it with pnpm. So that's what we're gonna run in container. It's gonna build. And then inside of the .master folder output, there is gonna be the server index mjs, right? So, and then basically what I need to do is just do index mjs, right? And that will work. And then if I go to node modules, I'll just check if there's this truly non-modules or some symlinks or something. So let's see. So as we can see, this is a symlink to the previous folder of .pnpm. So if we go to the previous folder .pnpm, let's see, a little bit closer, master core at React. So master core. So at master core React. And then this one has its own modules. And then this has a symlink, everything's symlink, but seems to be okay. Yeah, so I think it's self-contained. So might not need, since I already built this over here, right? So I'm starting from app folder. I've copied node modules from this process, and then we're building on the outside. Then from the builder, let's see. So if I build from here, build like this, and that didn't work. That didn't work, and we have a filter for this project, and we have a workspace set up. This points correctly, and I just need to change individual build. This is a Mustra build. Okay, yeah, maybe the name over here would need to be changed. Yep, that works. So now it gets built, but does it get built in the inner folder? That's what I'm thinking. Does it actually build over there? And also the symlinks, do the symlinks point to outside nav modules, like in the mon repo, or are they pointing to like the, let's see, output? Okay, and then nav modules, and then let's see, Atmastra, and then we have it in .pnpm, and over here we have it as normal flat. So I think it's fine. Okay, so then from the builder, I'm getting no modules from outside, not modules for the app itself. I'm actually not sure if I need to copy all of this. So I just copy the Mustra output to the app itself, right? And then the run command is gonna be, let me double check. The run command is just a node. No, it's gonna be output. That master output goes to the app, and then it's gonna be node index.mgs. So that's the Docker file. So I just need to build it maybe locally before we try it in CI/CD, but we can try it in CI/CD just in case as well. So I've renamed this part. Seems like I updated twice. Okay, just create a ticket based on latest git diff. I think it's just the Dockerfile change, right? Yeah, one annoying thing with cursor, like it doesn't even wait until the terminal is actually populated, then it like tried to run the command immediately, and that doesn't work. So like it retries the same command like 20 million different times. Okay. Alright, it's making too many steps. Cool. The only thing that I need from this is the branch name, so I just want to plug in the branch name over here from linear. So cool. Have this. So it's actually maybe build or feature. Let's do feature at build process for this application revisor, something like that. Okay. One click for everything. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Skip everything. Create a pull request. This will create unnecessary versions, and I haven't disabled. Yeah, I haven't disabled the previous workflow. I guess that's fine. So, okay, yeah, let this run. So for now, I have a folder over here with all the scripts. So I'll use one script for an example. Let's see, I'll use the most recent one that I worked on. This one, actually, this is not correlated. So build, okay, just use the script for use the script for an example to can I enable the typing over here? Use Siri. Oh, okay. No, not this Siri. So use the script to build another script for this new application. Yeah, that doesn't work. Use the script to build another application. So I need to enable dictation in macOS. Disable Siri, right? Dictation. Okay. Yeah, so dictation, press twice. So now it's gonna conflict with this here. No. How do I disable Siri? Dictation, control, command D, go edit, start dictating. Will you share a recording to improve Siri? Customize option. Enable. Like your voice input contact names and send to Apple. to help your Mac recognize what you're saying. Sure. About ask Siri dictation and privacy. Where's Siri? Can I disable Siri? Oh, okay. I want maybe do it on right command, left command, either command key twice. Right command. Okay, yeah, I'll do it on right command because I don't use that. Okay. Okay, cool. So now it definitely doesn't work. Okay, I guess I'll just type it out. Fuck you. Okay, use this script to create new build script for Registry. There is a Dockerfile already. It's in Registry Dockerfile. Okay, it's a Dockerfile. Cool. So the build process finished. I'm wondering what happened. So I think it didn't detect any changes. There are no changes in the app itself to have a build, so I might need to add a change or see why it didn't actually pick up the change. So there was a change here and here. So, oh, there's a filter. Filter. It didn't set the output to the filter. Okay. So, filter. We have filter like this. That's cool. And then I don't know if it did it. I think it made it executable by itself, but let's double check. So scripts build. Okay, yeah, that's not executable. Cool, and then run the script, see if it builds. Right, looking good so far. So it's a multi-phase Docker build. In here, I'm just using the same image, but with the different tags for caching. So if there's no changes on this layer or this layer, I'll be able to just reuse it. I think we're at the depth stage, so the depth stage went through fine. Now the building is happening, so it's copying everything. In a previous app, I had Docker ignore. Actually, no, not here. So I don't actually, do I have a Docker ignore? So let's see, Docker ignore only here. I see. So it didn't build. Let me think. So it didn't build because it tried to copy non modules from from a root folder and then individual null modules. That's fine. But then it tried to build a push field. Copy probably some of the null modules in the field. So there is an error. The build. This doesn't work. So let's brainstorm with this guy and prompt it until it builds correctly. Yeah, let's actually, I didn't even check what the script was about. It created temporary Docker ignore file for me. I don't know if I need this. Let's see. Okay. It's trying to build by itself. Can you add this Docker ignore actually, so it is not temporary? Oh, I see. So the way it solved it is by apps revisor. Okay, got rid of this temporary Dockerfile thing. So now we have a Docker ignore. Okay, cool. So then the system non-modules is not getting mixed with the Docker non-modules, because they could be on different chip architecture and they would just not work. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So the looks like the app is working, but it doesn't know how to actually stop this. So that's fine. And then in a Docker build file, so build this. When it builds, it should have just build and then it should push, right? So it did it build and push. Oh, it does run. So I think the run, instead of the run over here, we have to do the entry point, right? So similar to here is just the cmd. So got stuck over here on this point. So let me rebuild it and try to push it to registry. Yeah, so most of this has been cached except the build. The build, at least the server should work, but then it would need environment variables, right? So for the future is create a deployment ticket for Kubernetes, and this ticket I would need to create manifests for an application, and I will need to place sealed secret for registry and also a secret for environment variables for LLM API token. So it looks like a build, and I'm just gonna test this. So I'll just do docker run rm interactive. I'll bind it to, what was the default port for this one? I think 4111, something like that. Yeah. Cool. So it's running. Create a ticket for future work. Yeah. So it seems like Docker container is running. So this is a good to go. Change, except the Docker is not stopping. So let me just force delete this container. So testing looks good. Then I'll just push these changes right here and run it in CI. So add Docker ignore and adjust Dockerfile. Oh, actually this. Sure. A Dockerfile and build script. All right, push. Let's see. So yeah, this is the free version of the AI reviewer that I have. I have the strict mode on, or the nitpicking mode on, or what was the mode that I enabled? What? For the coderabbit? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's in assertive mode, so like it picks up on all small nitpicks. It's like literally polluting with like useless comments all over the place. And it's like some of them, like they're just like, okay, yeah, it's just like, yeah, little nitpick. It's fine. It's better than having no review, but at the same time, the reason why I created my own code reviewing agent, because like I would just know what kind of review I need myself. So let's just follow the build process. So it looks like the change has been triggered. This is built locally correctly. And then this will have an actual correct tag version. So in this step in GitHub workflow, it would create a version. So right now I'm on 0.158. So it would actually go and create a tag in GitHub. So it's look like 0.1 because I have a minor commit. So I'll have a tag, and I'll also have the release for this, and then we'll use the same release to push the image to the registry. So after build is done over here, it would go and push the container image to registry. So since I've built this locally, if I refresh, I'll have one more. So this is the manual build that I did myself locally. And then this is the second build of 158.1. So if I go and refresh for this, so the latest version is this one that we just pushed like a second ago. I think it built successfully. There's some cleanup process. So one more thing that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna disable that workflow So then it doesn't trigger during the normal pull request review process. So I'll uncomment this and then delete this part and double check, looks fine. Pull request, I didn't disable this, so enable it back on main branch. So push everything, and at this point it's just gonna run like a normal CI process, which is just the build itself without Docker container. So I found that like when you just run it on a host, it's much faster, and the caching works better than like running everything in a Docker container for CI at least. Over here, I don't need an image yet. Let's see. So the way I can work with this one is I can just like copy whatever the comments that this bot has, and then basically from one LLM you copy paste it to the other LLM, and then that will just fix it. And then once it's done with that, I can do this. One actual nifty thing that it does, like, so one thing that I like about this coderabbit, these guys have figured out that you can actually have it inline. So I didn't look into like the first video that I did. I didn't look into like how to place the comments on this side because I wasn't looking at the API closely. So I'm probably gonna do that later to just like actually place the comments correctly over here on this side. Like the cursor hallucinated its own function, how it like calculates the position of the diff and where it needs to place the comment. So that part is kind of wonky, but probably gonna need to replace that. And then yes, so once you resolve all the comments, I believe like even if you just click resolve on all of this, it'll just approve without actually changing anything. So it's like it's not double checking anything. Okay, cool. So this is done, and then there's like one more prompt for this. This is probably more for this is more for what? For, let's see, for this is the file. Okay, so like it tried to like add the changes somewhere else already. Cool. So, and then over here, avoid potential word splitting issues to adhere to shell best practices. Please quote variable expansions in Docker build-x build command. Also consider testing command directly if statement rather than checking with percentage question mark. What the percentage question mark? I think this percentage question mark is if the previous command was quitted with 0, then okay, yeah. If the previous command was the previous command status code was 0, then that's a success. Otherwise, it's a fail. Not a big change, I guess. But this is oh, I see. So basically, instead of using that directly, run it in the if condition. Is this better? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. There's comments. Push it, and then basically tell this guy that update it, resolve, and then update it, resolve. Cool. So 2 of them resolved. It's gonna like react. Inline review comments failed to post. What does it try to do? Pure objective consider removing commented out code. Oh, okay, yeah, this is because it. Oh, I see. It tried to place a comment, but I already removed the commented out code. I uncommented it. So the change that I tried to post on doesn't exist anymore. So it failed to post. Okay. All right. It needs to approve. Come on, coderabbit, approve. 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 Yeah, but the large number of comments. Yeah, so the only thing that I care is that, oh, it triggered this as well. Oh, did we change something in this file? Let me look at the files changed. Let's see. So it did modify this one as well. Oh, I see. Core pack enabled, npm install. So he actually didn't update the thing that I wanted to update. I updated the other file. That's fine, I guess. Let's fix this as well. Update correct Dockerfile. So today I'm actually paying more attention. I'm actually looking at the code. Alright. Yeah, looks like this looks good. And then it retriggered. And I pushed again. This is still building. I think it's good to go. I can just merge. All right, cool. So that needs to build and push. And then we'll have a new Docker image tag over here. It's going to be like 0.159 version after this is done. Cool. Yeah, I think that's all the changes that I wanted to show for now. In the next one, I'm gonna create the manifests. So then we can place this application inside the cluster over here in its own namespace. So yeah. See you later. Bye.